Well, as the days draw closer to the inevitable doom of Middle-earth, something that Sauron could never accomplish himself, and the inevitable demise of the legacy of J.R.R. Tolkien, all in the name of a message from Amazon Prime.
Gonna no do that. How? Just gonna know.
It's not been good. More and more information is coming out day upon day, and it looks to be destroying that amazing legacy. Those books that, let's be honest, are timeless.
I love you.
I know.
We have this thread here from the Fellowship of the Fans, and let's be honest, they have a little bit of a whiff of the shill about it.
A sphincter says what?
What?
A sphincter says what?
What?
Exactly.
Breaking. We didn't want to do a TV version of Lord of the Rings, says Patrick McKay. We wanted to do a story in Middle-earth that deserves its own space on the shelf alongside the novels and films. Payne agrees. Well, you're not making one of those. You've just created your own. You've taken the lore and went, nah, don't care. You've created characters that do not fit in Tolkien's world. It continues. We had to ensure we were bringing something fresh to it and expanding the map. Boy, did you expand the map. We weren't interested in a sequel or prequel or rehash or nostalgia. Well, you are rehashing it and just making up your own fan fiction.
A sphincter says what?
What?
A sphincter says what?
What?
Exactly.
It had to stand on its own 2 feet as something that felt faithful, but also its own thing. It is its own thing. You only can make it stand on its own 2 feet by propping it up with the Lord of the Rings title.
Go ahead. Make a fool of yourself. Then maybe you'll listen to your conscience.
We did feel like Frodo and Sam being handed the ring, laughs J.D. Payne. Yeah, you should probably read the book and realise why that is wrong. There were so many people who pitched for this show whose resumes, that on paper, were more suited to an endeavour of this magnitude, admits McKay, addressing the Mumakil in the room. That's not another good thing to be shouting out when you're saying, we shouldn't have got this job. We don't know what we're doing.
Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Tolkien's legendarily is this enormous tapestry that stretches 9,000 years, Patrick McKay. Yeah, it's longer than that. But let's not get into that. You wouldn't like what we had to say to you about that. Contains some of the greatest stories from the Middle-earth mythos. Tolkien's legendary is enormous tapestry that stretches 9,000 years, Patrick McKay. Yeah, let's not get into that because you won't like what we had to say. Contains some of the greatest stories from the Middle-earth mythos. Yeah, his books do contain Middle-earth and great stories from there. Stupid thing to say. It's the story fans have always wanted to see fleshed out, but until now, it's only been told in whispers. Yeah. We didn't want this to be made. We, as the fans, openly talk about this all the time. We talk about Tolkien. We do not whisper about it. We've been shouting from the rooftops, do not touch this fucking series. Do not make this. You're just going to destroy the man's legacy. You've already called him a racist. You've already called him a bigot. You've already called him a homophobe. And yet, here we are. You're still making it all in the pursuit of a message. It's very interesting times, says Film Manila. War has ended, but peace hasn't settled yet. There are characters that have an intuition that evil is not finished yet. They face a lot of denial across all of these different worlds you're seeing. Characters deal with the impact of war and they're suspicious that there's more to come. My God. The sheer fucking hubris to come out with that. The fact that you have to say, oh, people are suspicious. The War of the Ring was fought way back in the First Age. Then Numenor fell. This statement is just so incoherent. They've clearly just watched the movies. They've never read any of the books. And yet they're saying stuff that sounds great, some buzzwords. We know what happened in this. We have the books. We have this whole legend that is Tolkien's entire universe. From the day the Earth was created, to when the skies were lit, to when the fall of Numenor happened, to when the world was made round. We even know when the dwarves were created, the elves were created, when men started travelling. We know everything. We know genealogies of entire families. We know their entire history. We even know what we even know what the moon was on certain days. Tolkien thought about this, and you're going, well, people have their suspicions, and we thought this, and we thought that. Bullshit. You're just making a Trojan horse to push a message.
You're only concerned with making a story?
It was my primary concern, which I started out with.
And you took 14 years to make this story?
Quite so, yes.
And this was a story in...
But that is partly out of the fact that I'm a meticulous sort of bloke. And that I took 14 years, not for the general things it is now, but finding time schemes and getting everything right and so on.
Well, for instance,
Yes.
this whole matter of the appendices, 100 pages, language, social customs, history. Normally, if you had been writing a history as a historian, all these would have existed on a card index before you ever began to write.
Yes.
Is this true for the
Very
Lord
much
of the
so,
Rings?
yes. One thing that, for instance, in the remarks you made at the beginning was the fact that time passed and the hobbits grew into this world.
Yes.
Matter of fact, what really happened was that because having already constructed the world, they became drawn into it.
The world was constructed like a model aeroplane.
No,
before-
no, but it existed in posse and in a large scale
Yes.
plan before The Hobbit was written. The Hobbit was in fact originally an attempt to write something outside it and grew into it.
So that you had literally invented the world before you even wrote The Hobbit.
Oh yes, indeed.
Why?
Why? I don't think it's. I could not really say why one wishes to create a thing like that.
$1 billion message that is going to flop. And by God, I hope it flops, because I'll be sitting here monetizing the fuck out of this. Because this is pathetic. This is stupid. And boy, does it deserve to fail. It's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. And we can keep standing on the parapet, looking out to what is about to come towards us, and say, we will fight this. And we will say, no, this is not Tolkien. what has been produced thus far has not been Tolkien. I'm looking at you, Hobbit adjacent.
Do we have to put up with this? I mean, can't we get a better actor? I know it's a small part, but I think we can do better than this.
So, as this continues to get worse and worse until the inevitable day that is the Rangs of Pram, we're just going to have to keep saying, no. No. I will be jumping on this hand grenade, and I will be watching it all in the name of you guys not suffering, and I will suffer for you. Because this is just going to be utter garbage. So thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I really do appreciate it. And as always, people, stay awesome.